Hi. Okay, so I'm just gonna finish this drawing now. I'm gonna finish Kim Taehyung. I was gonna do another tutorial video on this, but I realized I had promised somebody that I would do a tutorial on drawing not Britney Spears, Billie Eilish. So I'll be doing the tutorial of Billie Eilish next. After this. So I'm just gonna try to finish this drawing now. Before I start, I usually try to have a Jello cup. It looks like this. It's just a little treat, you know, get me going. Okay, so I'm going to start by working on the eyes a little bit. So let's look closely at the picture. Are they the right distance apart? Yeah, I think so. I think that's okay. But there's definitely some problems with them. So I'm going to start by using my eraser and erasing what I think needs to be erased. And I need a white line right here. I have a real strong dark line here. I don't want that because in reality that's not what I have here. I have a strong white line on the upper eyelid on the right eye. So I want to make sure that you can see. So let me bring this closer. Okay. So you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully when I draw, it won't block out your view. I'm erasing this dark line. Changing it to a white line. And I'm basing it on what I see. If you look closely at this eye, this one, there's a very strong white outline, not a dark outline. Sometimes I use the eraser just like a pencil. I mean, it's really no different. I wish it had a pointy tip. A lot of times I try to just twist the gum eraser until I can get a pointy tip. But that's what I'm trying to get. I think they sell pencils that have eraser tips, but it may not be the right type of eraser. Gum erasers are awesome. This is a gum eraser, but I did get a cheap gum eraser the other day that was not very good. So not all gum erasers are good. Now I got rid of the darkness, but I need a white line. So I'll get it. Now I need to erase some of the pupil here. It sort of became too big. I think it's better if I err on the side of making the eyes bigger rather than smaller, just because bigger eyes are more interesting. More captivating. The eyes are so important, especially this person's eyes. You know, look at those eyes. You know, those are some artistically beautiful eyes, and they deserve to be taken seriously in this picture and given, you know, given better treatment than I've given them so far. But keep in mind that up until now, I've just been trying to place everything. So I'm just trying to make sure that the fingers and the eyes are the right distance apart. I'm not really placing features yet. But I mean, I'm not really putting a whole lot of detail in yet. But now I'm starting to, because I have decided that these are okay. These distances are okay. I've made the decision. Maybe the mouth needs to come in a little bit. But other than that, I've made a decision that things are pretty much okay here. So I just need to whiten this line. I don't want to use white chalk unless I have to as a last resort. But I really don't like the way it looks. It's just not the color of the original paper. You can never get it, the color of the original paper. And the original paper, for me, is usually what I rely on for highlights. And I know some artists don't do that, and they use the white chalk for highlights, and so there's never a problem because, you know, they just make everything dark with charcoal and then make all the highlights with white chalk, and then they're consistent. Okay, this obviously needs to be changed too. Let's look at the right underlid. It's way too dark here. But I think it's placed right. Now, this is the wrong shape line. This line here, let's look closely, okay? This line here, you see, is curved, and this line is not curved, and it's slanting up, so it has to go. I'm gonna erase it completely. Okay, I wanted to go back as close as possible to the same color as the original canvas. If I can't do that, it doesn't mean the painting or the drawing can't work, but it's just better if I can. Okay, now there is no shadow here. So I need to get rid of most of this. The shadow is so light. These are flat features. They're not going to have super dark shadows in them. These are Asians. These are, the face shape is different. The shadows will be different. And I'm not used to that. But I'm kind of learning as I go. So this is too dark, of course, but I knew that. Okay, this is, I want more original canvas from here. This line is grossly exaggerated. Okay. this shadow is too dark. And now let's look at the shape of the pupil, which is really all we have left to fix here. Everything else has been changed. Okay, now this is not the correct shape of the pupil. So let's look at the pupil again. Okay. I'm going to try to match what I just saw. You know what might be fun would be to have like people draw him from home and you know, somehow find a way to show on my channel what they drew. That would be fun. Draw the same person, submit what you did. But they don't allow you to submit photos on the YouTube chat box, but there must be a way to do it. Now, I think that's a little better. Now, the bottom of the iris here does not touch the lid. There is a little tiny bit of white space between the pupil and the lid. And so I'm going to put that in now. I'm going to redraw the bottom of the eyelid. This time I'm going to draw it in using a pencil blending stick. Okay, so the eyelid goes pretty, these are the eyelashes coming down here and then down here. This eyelid comes more like this. Okay. Now I'm going to touch it with some charcoal. It is so catchy. Something about all the single ladies want me, me, me. That was a really catchy song. How come all the single ladies want me, me, me? Oh, I just could not stop humming that in my head. Very catchy. Okay. Now I want to bring this light. I want to bring that highlight that I tried to put in earlier. I want to bring it out more. So I'm going to get out my eraser, but I'm also going to add things behind it so that it'll look. You can lighten things by darkening what's next to them. Okay. So I'm going to darken this shadow. Try to bring this one out. This is now the shading or rendering. I really call this rendering or chiaroscuro, blending the shadows with a blending stick now. And these are light shadows. This is Asian features. They're not as deep set into the face, flatter. So you get lighter shadows, more and very beautiful artistic shadows as well. There's a great big piece of hair coming down like this. Okay, put that in. Now, for this great big piece of hair, I'm going to do a bold gesture. Here comes a bold gesture. And for this bold gesture, I'm using, oops, I dropped it. I'm using this, you know, very smudgy, soft charcoal. Using it for the hair so that you can just get a dramatic sense of the difference in tone. Ready? And this comes way down, this hair. Now, it looks very dark when you first put it in, but then it smudges all over the place and and it falls off. So let's just take some control of that process rather than just allowing it to smudge willy-nilly. We want to take the brush and brush it. Now, when I brush it, a lot of charcoal will come snowing down the face. That's fine. It's all just going to end up at the tray at the bottom and smudge my oil paintings when I put them on there. Unless I remember to dust off the charcoal. This will, if I do this now, it's like I'm pre-smudging it so that I don't have to worry so much about it smudging later. It's just kind of random that I even had this brush here, but I discovered that brushes and charcoal work great together. Okay, now it's time to step back and assess what's going on. Okay, you see this look, I'm going to point to it again, this line that I'm trying to get, that I can't get. What I want is original canvas, but I can't get it because charcoal is so unforgiving. But look at this line. See that beautiful white line is what I want to get. And I'm pointing to it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's what's popping out at me. Okay, so again, I said you can sometimes, if you can't get the original paper color back, sometimes you can get darkness or you can get the lightness by darkening what's behind it. So we're going to try that. This is sort of a medium softness. It's not quite as soft as the charcoal I used here. Okay. I'm gonna darken the shadows behind the line that I want to bring out. Now you have a little bit of that white line. Now I'm gonna try again to erase more of to get the original paper. Like I said, charcoal is unforgiving. Oil paint, that's why I love oils. Because oils, I would be able to paint. I would not need to get the original canvas white back. I could just paint white. And white paint looks fine. But that white chalk, let me just show you real quick what I mean about the white chalk. I'm going to put it in just so you can see how it does not match the natural paper color. I'm just going to put it in. You can see it. See? It's just not quite the same color as the original canvas. I'm going to bring the phone really close so you can see what I mean. It's the next best thing. It's the best I can do because I can't get the original paper back. Okay. Now I just want to clean up some of the lines here. So this is a blending stick that is just very, very tiny for tiny details. So I'm blending now, Now remember, when I blend this, I have to blend back this way. I cannot blend into the white. It needs to be a hard line against the white and a soft line against the dark, if that makes sense. So the hard line will be right here. That's going to be a hard line. Okay, and then this will be a soft line. So it blends. I'll bring it closer so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, now I'm gonna add a little bit more charcoal to that. See, I'm adding darkness up above the ridge, but not below it. And that gives the illusion of 3D space. Again, this has to be toned down. His shadows are not this dark because his features are not this deep set into the eye socket. I can turn up this light. There, that's brighter. Now, this guy's music is playing in my head as I'm sketching him. How come all the single ladies want me, me, me? That's what I'm singing in my head as I'm sketching him. Okay, now here we go, the bottom of the eyelashes. I see some people will draw in the lashes. I don't like to do that. I don't like that kind of detail. Now I want the whites of the eyes again, so I'm going to try getting the whites of the eyes using an eraser. First with an eraser. I've got the phone up so close to the picture that I can't see questions. If anybody has questions, let me just check the chat. Let me see if there's any. Live chat, all messages are visible. Okay. I think I saw a question earlier, but now I can't see it. That's okay. All right, so I'm trying to get the shape of the eyelid in. There's a little bit of white eyeball on the left side of the iris. And I can't get any of it very dark because it's hard for me to press here because it's rubbery. It's not like a hard tip. Now his eyelashes come down into the eyeball right here. Okay, so look at this line here, there. Okay, now this is too dark. Now we did a lot of work here, and you can see now that we're gonna have to do a lot of work on the other eyeball as well. But I've been working for a while, and I need a break, so I'm gonna stop. But I've had a good time doing this. Thank you for watching. Let's see now if I can figure out how to end this. How do there we go. Okay, bye.